Hi guys, if you're on my channel, it's been a very long time. Welcome to Learning Languages. If you're watching this anywhere else on my other platforms, well, hello. So sometimes I do different language vlogs, which is either like in another language to give you some things about how to speak this and that in that language, or it's me singing in a language twist, or sometimes just English if I'm lazy, whatever the case may be, and other times it's to educate. And I'm always trying to educate when it comes to the Afrikaans language because it is one of my native languages. English and Afrikaans, because I am from a country where we speak that language in South Africa. So I felt like the Afrikaans language was attacked like late last year, wasn't it, by Charlize Theron of all people. I mean, I'm saying that because she is, from South Africa, saying that about only 44 people still speaks the language. And that's very much attacking a language because it's a language that we all understand. For those that don't speak it or don't speak it well, most of us, and we talk about over 90% of people in South Africa, understands Afrikaans. So when you're speaking to them in Afrikaans, they will understand at least more or less what you're saying, and they can react in English and everything's fine, but as long as they can understand. So if a language is still very highly understood like that, it's definitely not a small percentage of the world. And I'm saying the world in the stature because of it comes from the original language, Dutch. So of the whole history of South Africa, Dutch sailors coming, they kind of implemented the Afrikaans language as a mixture of Dutch, of German, even some Swedish in there, and then some English. And it kind of all just mixed together to make Afrikaans. So it's very special, a very much made-up language that's actually quite special. And it sounds really beautiful. It actually is a beautiful language. It sounds very much beautiful. What you said was basically that the language is not very useful. And like, which language you would learn is that useful today rather than English? It just makes you think. Every language is useful on their own. It serves a purpose everywhere in the world. So Afrikaans is also one of those. But to say it's a dying language, very much false information. I know she's been attacked by, Afrikaans celebrities and that. I'm not trying to attack anybody. I'm just stating facts. If a language is dying, number one, it would no longer be taught in schools. But no, in every school, and even as homeschoolers and that, we are all still strong on, teaching our kids Afrikaans. Because it is still one of the 11 official languages of South Africa. And if you know Afrikaans, it will get you far. So it can get you far in Europe as well. In Netherlands, in Germany, parts of Austria, and like I said, there's some Swedish in there, so even Sweden. There's a couple of places where it can really work for you still, where it is beneficial. If you know Afrikaans, you can figure out more or less what someone's saying in Dutch. Not all the time. Trust me, I know some Dutch and German, not all the time, but you kind of understand and you can relate and learn those languages a little bit easier because you're already fluent in Afrikaans. And similarly enough, the same way, a German scholar and a Dutch scholar can learn Afrikaans so much easier because they have some of the words already jotted down in their home language. So it's quite cool to exchange in that way. So a dying language, you not have so much languages that are similar, and a dying language you no longer be taught in schools. And also, a dying language does not have their own insurance. Like there's an insurance company here that only insures you in your home language, in your moedertaal of Afrikaans. And the insurance company is called Verseker. So it means for sure. So for seker, they wouldn't be doing that if it was a dying language. A lot of parts of the northern suburbs here in the Western Cape, which is in the Cape Town of South Africa, they really speak Afrikaans like there's no tomorrow. And it's not just white people, border farmers, whatever that speak them. There's so many of my shade, which we are called colored because we are a complete mixed race of white, black, for centuries, and centuries just be born like that. So a lot of us speak that, especially on the rural areas, rural settlements, and I just came from that last week, like everybody's Afrikaans. If I was speaking English, they would tell me to speak slower, and then other parts of South Africa as well, it's basically the same, and then there's some blacks as well, and they can speak it really, really well. So it's not a dying language. Don't know why it was attacked. I really don't know why she said that. I don't know. But I felt like coming here in a new year, sharing this with you guys. And by the way, Happy New Year. And yeah, anyone who actually wants to learn the Afrikaans language from scratch, give me a shout and we can actually do that. so that you can be more than 44 people speaking Afrikaans left in the world. Thank you guys for tuning in.